statement belt in Game 1, Eastern Conference semi-finals, with a statement win, 39 points. Thorough beatdown. Great start to round 2. Let's recap DT with the recap. Shout out to Knicks Buzz. We're all buzzing right now. This time of year, the Knicks are talk of the town right now. And I will give you a little preview of Game 2, which will be tonight at the Mecca. But to recap Game 1, man, it was everything I imagined. I thought the Knicks would get off to a really good start in this series. I predicted Knicks in 6. Right, we'll see how tonight goes. I think if the Knicks can win tonight, I think Game 2 will be a game of adjustments. I do think Philly are going to try and obviously play a lot harder. I think Game 1, there was some fatigue there. Obviously, the late series against Boston, Game 7. But truth be told, man, the Knicks are just playing amazing right now, right? They're clicking on all cylinders, playing together as a team. Defensively, the identity is carrying over from the end of the regular season, from the first round to now. And I do think, look, Philadelphia defensively, they've got issues. And matching up against the Knicks, I thought the game plan should be to move it around, get Embiid in drop coverage, get him in pick and rolls, see how his knees hold up. I think, obviously, look, there's no doubting Embiid's talent, but I do think Philly probably got a better chance. This might sound crazy to some, but I think they had a better chance playing more of a maxi style series, up and down tempo. But our New York Knicks, man, I think they're executing strong. The depth continues to be the big plus over the Celtics. They got more guys. Getting off to a great start obviously helps with OG. You see Cat hitting their threes, Deuce McBride big time. And look, no player really played any more than 30 minutes, fourth quarter. It was a sit-down affair and let the situationals impress. And Tyler Kolek was impressive. Ariel Hukporti gave the Knicks really, really good minutes as well. In this one, with foul trouble, Hacker Mitch, and foul trouble with Cat, right? So salute to Hukporti. That's just an example of the depth, right? Hukporti set a great screen here. Deuce McBride starting to look like he is loose. Deuce definitely is playing with confidence. The crowd was amazing. The energy, you could feel it. And the Sixers just weren't ready. What have they got Game 2? Yeah, look, I think they're going to play a lot more, together defensively. Philly, they'll study the film. But I expect the Knicks to take care of business again tonight in Game 2. But yeah, I think we look the fresher team. Obviously, the shorter series in round 1 will help. And I think this thing should be over in 6, no less. No more than 6, possibly less, maybe 5. It's all going to be dependent on tonight, right? But as we look at the highlights, break this thing down, right? I predicted Mikal Bridges, guys, would be my X factor, and he's really looking comfortable against Philadelphia. He's played well against Philadelphia his entire career. Obviously, he was snubbed, drafted by Philadelphia, then traded. Mother worked for the organization, man. He gets up to play Philly, and he's going to be confident playing in Philly, as is Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. And we know those guys went to college in that area. But yeah, Mikal Bridges was my X factor in this series. My series MVP was OG in terms of my predictions. I thought a wild card would be Landry Shamet, but we might not even really need Landry. He's going to be mop-up duty. The starters aren't playing many minutes. They're playing only every other day. No back-to-backs, obviously, in the playoffs. So I expect the starters to just go all out, continue to put the belt on these guys. But we're going to bring up some stats, the shot chart. But before we do that, we're going to give out the game ball, look at the box score as well, guys. But hit that like button. We'll see you post-game live for Game 3 on Friday night, fam. I'll be live post-game, Game 3. Tonight's game, we'll do the recap again for the day after, fam. But noteworthy from Philly, without pulling up their box score, nobody on Philly put up 20 or more. So it was all below 20 points, even scoring. But yeah, they just didn't have it, man. Philadelphia were outmatched, outclassed, out hustled, and Brunson is going to get a game ball, fam. Before I dial it up, look at his numbers, fam. Efficient. I think this is going to be a Brunson series. The drop coverage of Embiid, man. You just can't be playing drop coverage on JB. 12 of 18, man. 3 of 6, 8 of 8 from the charity stripe. 35 points plus 27. Best game of the playoffs so far. And it's no coincidence, man. When you don't have Thompson draped over you, you don't have Dyson Daniels draped all over you. This is going to be a Brunson series, ladies and gentlemen. And without further ado, right, he's shared a couple of game balls in the first round, but this is his first solo game ball of the postseason, man. And number 2 in playoff scoring from the point guard perspective, and the records continue to fall. My favorite one is that the Knicks are the first team in NBA history to win 3 straight playoff games by 25 points plus, 25 points or more, fam. Just incredible. I mean, they're saving their best ball till last. The playoffs, obviously, you want to be peaking at the right time. And look, I do think the catalyst was going down to Atlanta, 2-1. The Knicks really got together. Obviously, lost 2 heartbreaking games, didn't execute well, ball hogging a little bit. We know the drill. So the Knicks turned the corner since then. They got right. I think the practices have been very positive and fruitful. I do think they've obviously worked on some schemes offensively, getting Cat as the hub since then. The cutting, the ball movement is amazing as well. And look, defensively, shout out to the rest of the coaching staff, getting this team looking amazing with Brunson and Cat on the floor. Remember, there were many times last season with Tibbs at the helm, and for all the great things Tibbs did, we still struggled with Brunson and Cat on the floor at many times defensively. Right now, we look amazing. Obviously, the matchups have been part of that. You're playing against an Atlanta team that don't have too many go-to scorers. Philly, obviously, like I said, Embiid is in that situation where he's hobbled. It needs to be a maxi series for Philly to have any hope. For the Philly fans watching, I do think, yeah, Maxi's your future, your hope. I think Paul George needs to, command a bit more of the offense. But look, I get it. When Embiid's healthy, you got to try to play through him. But I just think you can't really force feed Embiid at this point. Like, he just, we're beating a dead horse at this point. You can't rely on Embiid to carry you because his legs, his knees just can't carry you for 4 rounds. You're going to have to find a way to sprinkle it in. And a great breakdown here, All NBA podcast, Tim Legler's podcast. The Knicks hunted Embiid in pick and roll coverage right here. You see Brunson, Cat. Look at Embiid, man. He's out there near the logo on Brunson, man. That's barbecue chicken, man. That's fried flame chicken right there. And look, Brunson's going to score 40 for the rest of this series, man, if they guard him like that. It's just been absolutely amazing. Like I said, Huck Porty came in major minutes with Hacker Mitch. They went to try to get Mitch off the floor at work because, once again, frustrations abound. Mitch can't hit free throws. He bricked 4 in a row. Enter Ariel Huck Porty, I think in the second quarter. And Ariel gave 15 strong minutes, rebounded with 9 rebounds, 5 points. Just didn't play over aggressive, get into foul issues. He was just out there as a big body, 7-footer. Ain't nothing special. Just doing the basics, and hopefully, he continues to be impactful if called upon. Obviously, it's not ideal. You want Mitch to hit free throws and stay out there, but hey, it just goes to show that the Knicks' depth, can be counted on, right? And now, yeah, Brunson, as I said, tied second most 35-point playoff games by a point guard in NBA history. Knicks are the only team in the play-by-play era to lead by 30-plus points, 3 straight games. Just absolutely amazing. Next up, we want to shout out Kat and OG Anunoby too. I think OG Anunoby's been the best player for the Knicks in the playoffs. I predicted him, such as how high regarded he is. I predicted OG would be series MVP for this series. He can guard Embiid. You can score as well. Remember his monstrous dunk against Philly 2 years ago, and I retweeted that out, and I got a lot of traction. Amazing dunk. I think he's leading dunks in the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised. OG just dunking on everyone, man. He just dunking on everyone. Plus 22, 18 points, only 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers, a block, an assist, but efficient, man. 2 of 2 from downtown and 7 of 8 from downtown. Cat only played 20 minutes, man. 17 and 6. 17, 6 and 6 in just 20 minutes, man. Resting. I mean, 20 minutes is kind of what you get from a role player. So Cat is super fresh right now. And yeah, the Cat Hive stand up. The Cat Panther is arrived now. Right? Ain't no liability Cat right now. He has turned the corner. Right? Yeah, noteworthy Mikal Bridges. Love what I'm seeing in his first game. Hopefully he can just show consistency, knocking down those threes, 3 of 5. His best game of the playoffs, in my opinion. The bench, look, shout out to Miles McBride, plus 16, 8 points. Ariel Hukporti was a plus 22. Clarkson, quiet night. But yeah, Shamet, Alvarado, Kolek, Pacome Dardier, Diawara all got major mop-up duty fourth quarter as the rest of the starters, man, got to sit out. Look, Kolek looks great. I mean, he deserves an honourable mention. Really like what I'm seeing from Kolek. I think he's going to play a major role next season. Is Tyler Kolek? We bring up the stats. I mean, I really want to highlight first this shot chart, fam, because before you set out to win a playoff game or any game, that is the dream. That's the ideal shot chart, I think, when we're looking at a year 2026 and the way that the game is played. Restricted area, a ton of threes, and a couple of obviously foul line, closed in foul line shots as well. That's the metrics that you want, man. D'Antoni, whoever. That's the metrics you want, man. Easy, efficient, high efficiency buckets in the restricted area, and just a ton of threes, especially above the break. I personally, man, I love me an above the break 3. Guys like Brunson, Deuce, Cat. I mean, OG even. I mean, that's what separates you, in my opinion. The great teams from the good teams. Above the break shooting 3. It's a longer distance. But obviously teams, that means the defender has longer to close out, and when Cat's trailing, he's getting those threes. It's tough to close out on. It's tough to really stop. Field goal percentage, I mean, 63% from the field, 50% from downtown, man. Don't need to say no more. 16 fast break points. It was just an absolute beatdown, right, of epic proportions. So now, let's look ahead to tonight, man. Game 2. What could we see? What's going to be any different, right? Look, obviously, Philly are going to have to work out defensively what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to be drop coverage as much as they were. Probably going to sprinkle in some zone and see if the Knicks can shoot just as well. Hart hasn't been really taking too many shots. All the right guys have been taking the shots. The distribution's been amazing, because the cutting, the ball movement is just putting a ton of pressure on the defense. Got to look for a response from Maxey. I mean, he's going to have to put that team on his back. I think as the series goes, I don't expect Embiid to look better. Could Could he still have a great game? Maybe a 20 and 10 game? Absolutely, but I just can't see Embiid playing 35, 40 plus minutes to carry the team. I think it's going to have to be a collective. It's going to have to be Paul George leading the way, Maxey, and maybe one of their role players to really have an amazing game. VJ, more than likely. Quentin Grimes. Someone's going to have to go off their bench for them to steal a game. Maybe in Philly is their best shot, but we know what the crowd's going to be like, man. Apparently 55% of tickets for Game 3 have a New York or New Jersey postcode, area code. So we'll see how that plays out at the Philly arena. But for Game 2, I think the Knicks just got to continue what works. Start off strong, get the pressure on them, really pull that shorts up, play tight defense, contest shots, make everything really difficult, use your depth, be physical with them, and slow down Maxey. Look, I don't think VJ Edgecombe, is enough to carry them. I think we've got enough defenders. OG can keep VJ in check. I think the centers can do a great job, or OG can guard Embiid and try to run him around. That's the thing about Embiid out there. If the Knicks go small with OG on Embiid, then he is going to have to play and drop. He won't be able to hide on no big man. He'll have to play and drop. The Knicks will be able to do a lot of switching. And look, when Embiid was in his prime and he was moving well, he could contest and block shots. Now he just ain't moving as well as he used to, right? So a lot of headaches for Philly to figure out. I think that it'll be a great win for the Knicks in Game 2. I don't think it'll be as big of a beatdown. Would I be shocked if it is? No. But I think it'll be a closer game, through the second, third quarter. The Knicks will get separation late, and the Knicks will win by 10. The Knicks will win by 10, 15. Dembona, man, he picked up 5 fouls in like 4 minutes. So they ain't really got no one, man. Jabari Walker's getting minutes. Quentin Grimes is going to have to step up. Kelly Oubre. They're going to have to start hitting threes for them to have any shot. Now, we haven't really had a huge Hart game either. Like I said, he doesn't really need to take too many shots. Cat only played 20 minutes, so we know that he can continue to beast if he needs to play more minutes. Ideally, if they do go Hacker Mitch can knock down a couple shots. Double bigs, Andre Drummond. Look, he couldn't hit his threes. He's been hitting threes against the Knicks a little bit this season. But look, man, if the Knicks can get a big win, rest the starters for some of the game, then I think this thing could be over, man, in a gentleman's sweep. Possibly a sweep, a gentleman's sweep, if you get Game 2 with an emphatic style. Should the Knicks change anything up? Wouldn't be surprised if they tried something a little different, because Mike Brown likes to keep the opponent guessing, man, and not get too comfortable. Puck Porty's got confidence coming off Game 1. You shouldn't really need him for this one unless there's more of that Hacker Mitch type of stuff. But yeah, Huck Porty sets great screens. Freed up OG in this one. He's been rebounding quite strong. Yeah, Knicks just got to stay disciplined. Don't give them no cheap points to keep them around. You know they're going to try to flop. You know that they're going to try to slow the game down and get the whistles. How is it officiated? That's going to be a major part of Game 2. Is there a guy that's going to try to level and extend the series? Scott Foster already officiated Game 1, so I don't think we're going to get no Scott Foster in the second game. But yeah, I think they're going to be a lot more aggressive defensively. Philly, they're going to have to try some zone blitz, trap, get the ball out of Brunson's hands, make someone else beat them. It'll be bad on their half if they let Brunson just do the same thing again, because he'll cut you up in the drop coverage. They are going to have to find a way to pick him up full court, like one of the Thompsons or Dyson Daniels, making it difficult for him. But Overall, man, to wrap up and conclude before we talk about game 2 in the next recap, I just think the Knicks got way too much depth, right? They've got options. If something's not working, they can go to a plan B or even a plan C. I mean, I certainly didn't expect Huck Porty to be a factor in game 1. Sohan was out with a hamstring. I don't think it was serious. Diawara got minutes, looked good. Shamet could always get in there. We know Tyler looked great as well. Clarkson could get more minutes if needed. But like I said, if you're getting more from Mikal Bridges, that's a trump card, because that's a wild card, because you didn't get much from Bridges, fam, in the first round. And if we are going to get great production from, from Mikal, then I do think that this thing is going to be over quick. Nick's got the bodies, they've got the defenders to throw at dudes. So yeah, look forward to talking about game 2. Told you what I think we'll see. Cat probably play way more minutes than 20 minutes. I think it'll be a closer game, but I think the Knicks are just playing so well right now in transition, and they're going to move Philadelphia's defense around. Game 2 is going to hinge on how much better or worse, or even the same, Philadelphia's defense is going to be. We know the Knicks are going to bring that same energy and intensity. So I'm predicting the Knicks winning game 2 and they go up 2-0 and the streets are buzzing. Fam, we'll see you on the recap.